So, I've not done one of these in quite a while. Because, stuff, life, things, exams and whatnot. But that's done now. So, I am going to try and pump out some videos. Some of these and some of the other ones that I mentioned a while back, which have taken longer than I would have liked. But that's where we're at. Anyway, that's not the point. Today, I thought I would talk about Jedi Fallen Order, the video game, coming later this year, I believe, because this past weekend, it's been E3, and although I'm not a massive video game guy, really, there's some stuff sort of piques my interest, and this. So we got another trailer for it, and a gameplay demo. About 13 or so minutes of gameplay, more or less. And I thought I would share my thoughts on it, I suppose, because I just did. So I wasn't really excited for Jedi Fallen Order. I didn't really care. Battlefront 2 is fine. It's enjoyable enough, but it had such a terrible launch, You've got to be wary with EA Star Wars games. And the first trailer, admittedly, I didn't really watch it seriously, but, it's a very loud car. But it didn't excite me, it didn't get me invested. This makes me somewhat more excited for the game, just because of there seems to be quite a wide variety of force powers, and it's not just you hit someone with a lightsaber. Does a force push? Does a force pull? There is the force push. You see multiple times he pushes objects to open doors or push down a pathway or whatever. For me, that was a little bit fast, the animations for that, which I know you don't want to make the gameplay really slow. I'm not saying have it take 10 minutes, but it seems to be the type of game that wants to really immerse you in the Star Wars world, and to have the main character, Cal, I think his name is, use the force and push things so quickly, they're gonna make loud noises. And if I know the stormtroopers are all dum-dums, but if they don't hear that and they don't respond to it, to me it sort of breaks the immersion that otherwise you're doing a really good job at creating. You can throw the lightsaber and call it back with the force. There's some special moves. Obviously you can force pull. You can freeze the blaster bolt, like Kylo Ren does. There's also a thing where you can slow down a certain object. There seems to be a good variety of ways to use a lightsaber in combat. You use the lightsaber as a light source. There's also some parkour, wall running aspects of it. So it looks, the gameplay of it looks really exciting. It looks kind of like a Batman Arkham game, but as a Jedi, which I'm down for. I think the Arkham games are great, and this looks like that. Really interested to see Saw Gerrera. I did not expect that. You've got a K2 unit as well, an actual Imperial one, not a reprogrammed Imperial one like K2SO. Or is he just a K unit? You know what I mean. Imperial Flame Troopers are a thing now, which is pretty cool. They look like snow troopers, but with flamethrowers. But then the First Order of Flame Troopers look like the First Order snow troopers. So I can see why they've done their design like that. There's also a new type of trooper. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but they're like Magna Guards, but like stormtroopers. They appear to be like the most challenging enemies. I'm can't think of the words for you to take on in combat. Looks like you need to be kind of strategic when you can't just hit them with your lightsaber. You've got to actually learn the combat, which is good. It's good that the game is challenging you. As fun as it is to just go through waves of enemies, killing them all with a lightsaber, you do want the gameplay to challenge you, especially if it's gonna survive for a long period of time. You know what I mean? So if the gameplay is easy, you're going to be less invested and you'll give up. You'll stop playing sooner because it's boring, it's easy. You know the point I'm trying to make, or at least I hope you do, even though I've done a terrible job of making it. What was the other thing I wanted to... Oh yeah, bugs. Really nice to see a Jedi fighting bugs in a Star Wars game, because that's always the most exciting thing in a Star Wars game, when you've got a lightsaber and you fight bugs. But overall, this game looks really fun. It looks, from what we see here, looks like the combat and the gameplay is really exciting. It just visually looks really, really nice. It looks like it has got some good connections to the Star Wars universe, but also kind of expanding it in a way that, to me, looks like it's doing it a little bit better than the Battlefront 2 campaign did. Just because it didn't really seem to add much to the canon, and what it did add was just silly, I thought. Inferno Squadron, who were like the most elite stormtroopers, the most elite like Imperial forces, but then they become rebels after like one mission. So what is the it was a lazy story. I'm really hope Fallen Order doesn't have a story like that that's predictable. I'm a little bit sick of stuff in between episodes 3 and 4, but if it's good, it's good. I'm not gonna argue with a good game. And yeah, in general, it's just made me kind of more excited to play it now that we've seen some actual gameplay, and I kind of know what I'm getting into. I was sort of on the fence about Fallen Order. Now I think I am looking forward to getting it, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that, really. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be making some more videos. I don't know if the minis will be sort of phased out, because I'm making these other videos that I've mentioned little bits of, which they're not really a secret, but they sort of are. But then I also want to make some like just videos like this, but I don't know whether the presentation of the minis is something I want to keep. I don't know, but that's where I'm at with it. But that's all I have to say. So obviously, if you happen to be new, subscribe and like the video, because that's what you do, and we all tell you to do that. Check out the podcast if you haven't. That's the main thing, which I always forget to mention, but please do give that a listen. The links to it should be in the description. It's a lot of fun if it's really... I would say that though, wouldn't I? But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Also, the Forza Horizon 4 expansion being Lego Speed Racer is a fucking hoot. Bye.